Most guys over 40 think they're still in great shape until they're put to the test. The truth is, strength, endurance, power, and even balance start slipping away long before you notice. But there are clear benchmarks that can tell you exactly where you stand, whether you're ahead of the curve, just average, or falling behind. In this video, we'll run through a series of tests across 5 key categories: strength, muscle endurance, power, cardiovascular fitness, and balance, so you'll know exactly how you measure up. Now, without further ado, let's jump right in. Category number 1: maximum strength. Muscle strength is one of the strongest predictors of all-cause mortality and overall quality of life as you age. When you strive to maintain strength standards, you not only add years to your life, but quality to those years. These benchmarks aren't elite and they aren't pulled from a single study. They come from decades of strength coaching adjusted to what most healthy men over 40 can still hit with solid training. That said, context matters. If you're brand new to lifting, you're less likely to reach these numbers right away compared to someone who's been training consistently for several years. In that case, treat them as targets to work toward, not as a pass-fail test. Age also plays a role. While these numbers are realistic for many men in their 40s and early 50s, they may not be achievable for someone in their 70s or 80s. You can still use them, but it makes sense to adjust expectations so they're age appropriate. A simple way to do this is to knock zero point 0.1 off the benchmark for each decade after your 40s. For example, if the benchmark is 1.5 times body weight in your 40s, it would be 1.4 in your 50s, 1.3 in your 60s, 1.2 in your 70s, and so on. It's not an exact science, but it lines up well with the research on typical age-related strength decline, and it's easy to remember. Each lift here is listed with a 1 rep max benchmark, but you don't actually need to max out to test your strength. If you know your 6 to 10 rep numbers, you can estimate your 1 rep max by using a calculator. For example, if you can bench 185 pounds for 8 reps, your estimated 1 rep max is around 230. Divide that by your body weight, say 180 pounds, and you get 1.28 times body weight, which you could round to about 1.3 for simplicity. With that out of the way, let's get into strength benchmark number 1: the back squat. A loaded squat tests leg strength, but it also tests your mobility, coordination, and core strength. It shows whether your hips, knees, and ankles still move well and whether your spine holds strong when they do. The target is a squat that's 1.5 times your body weight for a solid single. If you're 180 pounds, that's a 270-pound squat. This doesn't have to be a traditional barbell squat either. Safety bar squats and even Smith machine squats can build and test the same qualities. If you opt for the Smith machine variation, add about 10% to the target weight to make up for the lower stability requirements. Either way, what matters is that you can drop into the hole with control, drive out with force, and your knees, hips, and spine all hold the line. Strength benchmark number 2: the bench press. Pressing strength is a solid marker of functional upper body power. Achieving this obviously means your chest, shoulders, and triceps are all in good shape. But more than that, it shows your shoulders move well under load, your scaps stay anchored, humeral path is clean, and there's no force leak from instability. The target is a strict 1 times body weight bench press for a solid single, but if you've got shoulder issues, dumbbells or machines are fine alternatives. Just keep in mind, the standard shifts slightly. With dumbbells, aim for about 90% of your body weight in total load, since each arm has to stabilize independently. With a Smith machine, you can typically press about 10% more than the barbell standard thanks to the guided bar path. Whichever variation you choose, the principle holds. You should be able to move the weight with control. Strength benchmark number 3: deadlift. This one is about whether your posterior chain can generate serious force through a strong, clean hinge. The goal is to deadlift 1.75 times your body weight. Hitting this target means your glutes, hamstrings, and spinal erectors are solid. If the barbell puts too much stress on your spine, use a trap bar instead. Either way, you should be able to move the bar without your form breaking down. If you're unable to hit these numbers, don't be discouraged. Look at these as long term targets and not pass fail tests. Also, keep in mind that past injuries, joint issues, or other limitations mean some lifters need different standards, so focus on your own progress, not comparison. Category number two, muscular endurance. These muscular endurance tests essentially measure how long your muscles can repeatedly contract or sustain tension without fatiguing, which is a big deal for both performance and long term function as you age. Muscular endurance test number one, dead hang. The dead hang tells you how strong your grip is, but it also tests scapular control and shoulder integrity. The goal here is to hang for at least 60 seconds. This should be done actively, shoulders slightly depressed and scaps engaged. That tells you if your upper back muscles like lower traps and rhomboids can engage and stay engaged under load. If your scaps drift up to your ears after 20 seconds, this means your back muscles lack the endurance or strength to keep the shoulder joint stable. And if you can't make the full 60 seconds, work your way up by breaking it up into two sets of 30 seconds or three sets of 20, then add time each week. Muscular endurance test number two, push ups. The push up is one of the simplest and most telling tests of upper body muscular endurance. It tells us how long your chest, shoulders, triceps, and core can keep working before fatigue sets in. The goal is to see how many solid push ups you can complete in 2 minutes. By solid push ups, I mean chest to floor, no hip sag, and no elbow flare. To pass this test, you'll need to be able to hit at least 55 reps if you're in your 40s. Then, for each decade older, just subtract about 5 reps from that goal. For example, if you're in your 50s, knock that down to around 50 push ups. If you're in your 60s, then 45 is a great target, and so on. Muscular endurance test number three, wall sit. Slide your back down a wall, knees at 90 degrees, thighs parallel to the floor, and hold it. If you're in your 40s or 50s, you should be able to hold this for about 2 minutes. If you're over 60 or 70, 90 seconds is more realistic. If you can do that, your legs are in good shape. Category number three, power. The following will test your ability to produce force quickly, which declines faster with age than strength. If you can pass these, it's a good sign that you've been able to maintain your power over the years. Power test number one, 100-foot farmer walk. The goal is to carry your body weight split evenly between each hand for 100 feet without dropping it, slowing down, or losing posture. For example, if you weigh 180 pounds, you'd carry 90 pounds in each hand using dumbbells, kettlebells, or a trap bar. Being able to do this shows you've got serious grip strength, the core stability to resist side-to-side sway, strong upper back and trap development, and the ability to generate and maintain force while moving. It's also a great indicator of gait coordination and total body power transfer because you're not just holding the weight, you're propelling it forward under load. Power test number two, standing broad jump. Stand tall with your feet shoulder width apart, swing your arms back, drop into a partial squat, then drive forward and upward as you swing your arms through. Jump as far as you can and stick the landing without stumbling. If you can cover at least your own height and distance, you're still producing solid explosive force. For example, if you're 6 feet tall, hitting a 72-inch broad jump means your lower body can still generate and transfer power efficiently. That translates to better performance in lifting, sprinting, and even daily movements that require quick bursts of strength. Category number four, cardiovascular fitness. Cardiovascular fitness is your body's ability to take in oxygen, deliver it to your muscles, and use it efficiently to keep you moving. It's the foundation for endurance, stamina, and even your ability to recover between heavy lifting sets. Strong cardiovascular fitness isn't just about running or sports performance, it directly impacts heart health and how well you can handle physical stress as you age. One of the simplest and most telling ways to measure it is the 1 mile run. If you're in your 40s and can complete a 1 mile run in under 8 minutes, it's a clear sign that your cardiovascular system is working at a high level, supporting your strength training, your recovery, and your long term health. If you're older than 40, you can adjust this goal by adding about 30 seconds for each decade. That means under 8.5 minutes in your 50s, under 9 minutes in your 60s, and so on. And category number five, balance. Balance is one of those abilities you don't think much about until you start to lose it. As we get older, small declines in balance often creep in without us realizing, and that can lead to trips, falls, and even instability during weight training. The good news is we can measure and train it, and one of the simplest tests is the single leg stand with your eyes closed. Stand tall on one leg with your other foot lifted just a few inches off the ground. Cross your arms over your chest so they're not helping you, and then close your eyes. Time how long you can hold that position without your foot touching down, hopping, or uncrossing your arms. When you lose balance, stop the clock, then switch legs and repeat. If you're in your 40s, holding for 20 to 25 seconds on each leg is a good sign. To keep this test fair across ages, you can adjust the target by subtracting about 5 seconds for each decade past your 40s. That means in your 50s, 15 to 20 seconds is the goal. In your 60s, it's 10 to 15 seconds. In your 70s, it's about 10 seconds, and so on. If you're hitting the target for your age group, it's a strong sign your neuromuscular control, joint stability, and coordination are right where they should be, and that you're far less likely to experience the kind of stumbles and missteps that can set back your training. And if you're over 40 and want to remain strong and fit for years to come, check out my video on the 5 things you must stop doing after 40. There, you'll learn the biggest mistakes men over 40 make when trying to build muscle and strength, and how to avoid these pitfalls so they can keep making progress as they age. Did you find this video helpful? Click the like button below, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.